Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Injustice Podcast. My name's Dominic Holloway. Joined to my left,
Ian Triggs, and to my
Jacob Peterson, and today we're continuing our horror spotlight series with the modern king of horror. If I can say that,
that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
James Wan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So we're going to be talking about James Wan today for our horror spotlight. For those of you who are unfamiliar with his work, which why wouldn't you be? To where to even begin? Saw. I mean, we got with the upcoming release of Jigsaw. Or actually, is it this Friday or is it already out?
Next Friday.
It's next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay, yeah.
On 27th.
So with Jigsaw being released and having Tobin Bell back as the infamous voice of Jigsaw. We've had now, this is what, the 8th film? Yeah, this is the 8th film in the Saw franchise. I mean, look at that, 8 films.
8 films.
And although the middle, from about 2 on...
What I like, though, is at least they kept, some kind of through line in terms of, the overall arcing plot. Where,
they did, but the last...
Wouldn't it be cool if they actually reveal that, he didn't die?
Yes.
Somehow.
It would be...
I don't know how they're going to get away with that.
It'd be a nice twist, but given the events of
Saw 3, right? Or Saw 4?
I think it's...
Spoiler alert. I mean...
3 or 4... I think it was 4, but I'm not sure.
We're going to... Just to give you guys a little bit of heads up, there's probably going to be some
mild
spoilers for several of James Wan's key films. We're going to be talking Saw. We're going to be talking the Insidious universe, which is Insidious, Conjuring, Annabelle Creation, and anything I'm missing? Oh, he also did that Death Sentence film with Kevin Bacon. Remember that from 2007? Where his son gets killed in the gas station and he shaves his head and he buys the guns from John Goodman and all that. That actually, James Wan directed that.
Really?
Yeah, it was a revenge thriller.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's also directing the Aquaman movie, isn't he?
He is directing the Aquaman movie,
so
and they just wrapped production on that.
There's that.
By the way. So we're going to be doing we're going to be doing a spotlight on all those films. Obviously, less on the Aquaman, but. So you guys know
that was more of a tidbit than anything else.
Yeah, just so you guys know that they just wrapped production on Aquaman, which is really cool, and they're going to be using some of his horror elements for Aquaman in terms of some of the underwater creatures and whatnot. So I'm really interested to see how that movie turns out. So, anyways, let's just jump straight into it. This little film back in 2002,
2004.
2004.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Man, I'm like, God. See, then even more so, that's a testament, though, for the fact that 8 films, it's 13 years, but that's still 8 films in 13 years. That's pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's pretty
pretty much a movie every year or every other year.
When did Saw 2 came out in 2006?
They literally, I think that was the only one they had a 2-year gap, because after that, I think they were pumping out Saw films one every year. It was like the sequel would come out.
I just remember when I was rewatching the first one last night. Up until the last 20 minutes, we still didn't really understand the motives and what was going on, and then the last 20 minutes happened, and we find out that Zeb has
he's not Jigsaw.
He's not Jigsaw. He's got the whole reason he's doing all this. He took. What's his name?
Dr. Gordon.
Dr. Gordon's family hostage because he himself was injected with a slow-acting poison that's slowly killing him. So, I mean, he's also playing this game with Gordon and Adam.
Yeah, and it was cool how they make you think that he's kind of the suspect, and they're like, is Dr. Gordon actually Jigsaw? And then is Danny Glover's detective, is he actually Jigsaw? But then they kind of, because it's like, that was one thing, that was one of the theories, is that is it a misdirect when they actually go and he gets his throat slit, and which I'm really saddened to know that basically they spoiler alert, but they killed off, or not technically killed off, but they got rid of Danny Glover's character basically off screen.
Yeah,
Is that
they've done that.
They use
for
that
a
with
lot
the
of-
video game. Like he basically just goes insane. Like he goes through and like has to go through and try to find Jigsaw and goes to the traps and he survives and is basically comes out unscathed, but his mental health is not as it should be, and so he kind of goes kind of nuts.
But just the last like 5 minutes where we find out that Jigsaw is actually
Been in the room the whole time.
Been in the room the whole time. He's
playing dead.
playing dead, and it just because I remember I texted you as soon as they got done, and I was just like, oh my god, I forgot how excellent this movie was.
And they're just playing Hello Zep, like the overture, the Saw theme, just over when he's just coming off the ground. It's like dun 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 dun, and I was just like,
game over.
And I just thought that was like when he gets off the ground, I was like, no effing way. And I was like, and he's just like, surprise, mother.
The key to that lock is in the
tub. And then it's like, and it's like a flashback of him pulling the thing by accident with his foot because he wakes up underwater, and I'm like, yikes. If he just would have not woke up like thrashing, you literally would have had the key to both their chains.
And the thing that gets me is as soon as like the timer goes off and Zeb is starts going after his family, and he thinks that his family just died, like he hears on the other end of the line a gunfight and he thinks his family's dead. That's when he saws his foot off. That's when he gets the saws his foot off, and he goes he goes crazy. So,
well, what's funny is that he doesn't necessarily go so much. I mean, he goes kind of crazy in terms of survival, but like how they tied that all in, how he was basically like we all thought like Amanda and the officer, I can't remember his name, how they were actually like his disciples, but basically John Kramer, aka Jigsaw, literally just admits, he's like, basically, you are my protege, like you are next in line, which is why I'm kind of wondering with the new Jigsaw film being released, I'm like, is Dr. Gordon the new Jigsaw? Like I'm actually really interested to see if like that's what they unveil, who's starting it off, like, because who's bringing it back? They have to, because my thing is, if it's just someone brand new, I feel like that'd be kind of wasted. I'm like,
it's got to be someone.
It's got to be either Gordon or
someone
that's someone that knows
Yeah.
Jigsaw.
And the thing that I mean, the only criticism I have of the Saw series is after, I would say probably 3, it descended into like torture porn. Like it was
less on story.
I will say that
It was less on story and more on
kills, spectacle and kills, and wasn't, because in the last one, wasn't there a bit where like someone's like outside in broad daylight and he's, because I didn't see the last Saw, but
like all the way through or just at all?
All the way through. I saw the trailers and stuff, but wasn't there a bit, and this might have just been in the trailers, might not have been in the movie, like someone's in like a clear building and you see
that's okay. So it's 2 guys and basically they're dating this girl. Well, and what happens is she's basically like playing them both, like she's dating,
I know,
and she's hanging from these chains, and there's this table saw that's like churning whatever, and so basically they can either push the saw into each other, or they both live and it kills her and it cuts her up in half. And so basically they're like, he's like, the one guy's like, screw that, and he tries to kill the one dude, and actually like it barely cuts him, just a little bit, like it kind of starts to touch his chest, and they're just like, wait a second, and like, because Jigsaw is talking over the intercom, and he's just like, this girl basically like she's cheating on both of you because she's seeing one guy, and then she already saw this guy before, like the 2 guys, so she's been going back and forth between them, and he's like, and the one guy's just like, wait, why are we trying to kill each other? She like, screw this girl, and they like literally just put the blade right in the middle and just let her fall on it. And I was like, because the cops are like trying to bust down the glass, because it's basically in full view of the public. It's like at this mall, like one of the glass shops.
I mean, people are taking videos and pictures and everything. Which
I was like, wait, you're videoing this? I'm like, why don't you try to like break the glass? Like, go find something to break the glass. Like, like except for one cop who tries, I think, shoot the glass. I think.
But I think we've talked enough about Saw and how
Yeah, so let's.
I mean, how it kind of changed the game, and
Right.
I mean, with it being said, I haven't seen any of the Insidious movies or Annabelle because I don't do those
Supernatural?
movies. Yeah, you guys know I don't do that stuff.
Well, I'll start
Yeah.
off with the Insidious franchise. I think I thought the first one was brilliant. I thought that the way they kind of did an approach on modern horror where it's like there's this realm, like this dark dimension where all the demons lie, which is instead of it being like Satan and like satanic possession, it's more of there's just demons, like people who pass from like acts of evil or from like tortured souls, and they're in the further. And so they're basically
molest themselves and demons,
and it's basically they manifest into like a demonic presence, and so they have this really cool concept where like you think, and that's another thing that he does. He uses the plot twist again, where in the first film, which again spoiler alert, I mean that was from 2011, so you guys have had plenty of time, and so they reveal that like they're trying to possess the boy, and then they come to find out at the very end of the movie that when his father, played by Patrick Wilson, goes in to like rescue his son from the further, they're luring his astral projection, his spirits away from his physical body, so that way the demon that was haunting the father as a kid can possess him. And so the whole ploy was like not to get their son Dalton, but to get the dad, because the ghost lady was trying to get him, and I was like, that was so clever, because then like how the movie ends with him like boom, like he's possessed now, and he's just like, what is it, honey? And it's just like you don't get to see. It was such a cool trick at the end when he like touches her shoulder and she turns around and she's like holding like I think the like lighter or whatever, and she just turns around and just a look of horror on her face, like because you never see what she sees, but it just cuts. I was like, that is so well done. Like I love the first Insidious.
Also, she's like a medium of sorts.
Sorta, kinda. Like she's kind of subjected to it because she's the wife. She's kind of, her husband's getting possessed. Her son just got possessed. Oh, so like she's kind of in the middle of it. She's kind of like she's the audience character. Like everyone kind of sees and feels what's going on through her. So then moving on, Conjuring. I thought The Conjuring was a good follow-up. I mean, obviously The Conjuring was more based off of actual events because it's based off of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were actual paranormal ghost hunters. But I mean, it's all up to like what you kind of believe in terms of, do you believe in ghosts and do you believe in this and that? Because like I'm sure it being a Hollywood film, obviously, you know, there's some fabrication and some like changing, but there's probably some underlying truth to it. Yeah. So I thought the Conjuring film, and I thought Conjuring 2 was a worthy follow-up as well. What did you guys think?
I mean, like I've said, I've never seen them.
Oh, so. That's right. Well, with Conjuring 2, like they kind of set up with like Annabelle coming out, and then like because everyone was fascinated by the doll that was in the original Conjuring, the Annabelle doll, and so they did the spinoff, which was less than it wasn't as well received, but then they did the follow-up, which was Annabelle Creation. Which, funny enough, Annabelle Creation is directed by. Annabelle Creation is actually directed by Seth Gordon. I think his name is Seth Gordon Smith, but he directed Lights Out.
Yeah. And
so he did a really good job with Lights Out, and then directed this film, which I thought Annabelle Creation was better than the original Annabelle, in my opinion. So those films have been good. I mean, they kind of tease like the nun character, and they have the oh my god, what's his name? Because you guys, did you see Conjuring 2?
Yeah, I saw all of them.
What was the Crooked Man? Remember that, the one that comes out of the dog in the second one? He's just like, and he does like the rhyme. Like they're doing a spinoff of the Crooked Man, they're doing a spinoff of the Nun, and they tease the Nun in Annabelle Creation.
They're making
a universe of like all the different
which is what we
villains.
covered in the Time to Stop movie universes.
Yeah,
go check that out. We kind of talked about why we think certain movie universes need to go away, chill out. But segueing to, what do you think James Wan's legacy is? Like, since 2004, what do you think is his overall legacy and contribution to the?
Well, I like that I love that he's dipped his toes kind of into everything.
Yeah.
He's done the psychological horror with
as well as
like
the supernatural.
and he's done the supernatural horror. He's done the torture porn horror, which even his though the Saw franchise kind of escalated that way, even though he stayed on as a producer.
Yeah.
Right.
He himself was not the director of any of the films past, I think, one. So maybe he directed two. I'm not certain. I think he only directed one. You fact check us on that. But I know with one, he was mostly, obviously, that was like he kind of set off the universe and kind of let it go. And he kind of shepherded it and like kind of looked after it through the years. But getting back on track, I just like that he just kind of did everything. Like he's done the supernatural with Annabelle and Insidious and Conjuring. He's done the psychological aspects with like the first Saw, where it was more of like a crime drama, like it was more kind of like Seven.
Yeah.
And like, you know, this killer that's like killing you off of your what's in the box. Anyways, I know no matter what, like I feel like we should go back and watch that movie.
Seven.
We should totally have like a watch viewing of like. Anyways, yeah. and then lastly, how he's just. And then now he's directing superhero films now, and kind of like how Scott Derrickson. I mean, look at Scott Derrickson, how he did not Insidious, Sinister and whatnot, and he did that one with Eric Bana and Edgar Ramirez, that scary film, supernatural film.
Not Country for Old Men.
But anyways, and then how Scott Derrickson with his horror roots kind of jumped into the superhero comic book film. So. I mean, look at that. He's going to have delved into... Oh, James Wan. Totally forgetting another one. Furious 7. James Wan directed a Fast and Furious film.
But then again...
Adventure.
And it's probably one of the best ones, too. Because, he handled the death of Paul Walker.
Yeah, that happened in the middle of
middle of shooting. I mean, and he accomplished so much with that film. And it was the highest grossing Fast and Furious film. Probably one of the best Fast and Furious films besides, 1 and 5.
Yeah.
And just that movie was fantastic. James Wan directed a Fast and Furious film, so his range is all over the place. He can literally do anything: comic book, action, horror,
anything,
literally anything.
Basically
so
anything.
He's gonna have a good legacy. He's gonna be doing. He's still shepherding all the spin-offs because I mean they just unveiled that they're doing. Even though they did Insidious Chapter 3 already, they're doing, I think it's called Insidious: The Last Key or something like that.
And the trailer didn't really... Yeah, I remember...
It's so funny, I haven't even seen the trailer for it yet.
I
didn't even know about it.
It's a little underwhelming.
But anyways, so anything you guys want to throw in or add?
I just wanted to add that I remember around 2004 the horror genre was getting a little stale. It was getting a little just too jump scary. And
either full-on jump scares, which they still kind of rely on a lot because people don't know how to write good tension and suspense. That's what I liked about it. It was not really the new it. It wasn't necessarily scary, but it was creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you kind of felt this tense and uneasy atmosphere when you were watching it. So you were still creeped out when you saw stuff.
But the reason I'm saying that is he kind of reinvented the horror genre.
Yeah,
and
made
brought
it scary
in.
And
if
funny,
he didn't reinvent it, he
rejuvenated it.
Yeah, there you go.
But
thank you.
Yeah, guys, I think
that basically covers everything.
I think that covers.
Oh yeah, he's a well-rounded actor, director, producer.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. He actually has a cameo in Insidious Chapter 3.
Really?
Yeah, he's the daughter of Kyle MacLachlan. I think it's the other guy who I always mistake for Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks. But the daughter goes to, in the movie, she goes to a rehearsal because she's trying to get this role, and she goes in there, and James Wan is
the director.
Is literally, it's so funny. He's the casting director.
That's funny.
And so he's sitting there, and they pans over, and he's like, you could go ahead whenever you're ready, and I'm like. Hey, most people don't realize that that's him, and I was like, "Hey, it's James Wan."
Yeah, guys. That
basically covers it. So,
that covers it. So,
thank you guys for watching. Keep in tune for the rest of our Injustice: The Long Halloween Horror Special. And stay tuned. We're gonna also unveil the next round winners for our bracket for all our Halloween movie monsters. So stay tuned for that. And until next time,
see you guys.
See you guys later.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching.
And be sure to like this video and subscribe.
And click the link in the description below to follow us on social media.
See you guys next time.